pushing back diversity showcase. All right, that's up now. Sorry, the live stream just started.
Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Welcome. How's it going?
You didn't have water there?
Sorry.
Not that I'm not asking for myself, I'm saying for the event. So I guess we'll have to go. That's fine.
That's why I got this.
Oh, is that cheaper? Is that better? Okay, so we're good. Okay, alright. I'm struggling with connecting some stuff here, that's okay. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. No problem. Not yet around. Okay. It seems to be connected.
I tapped the body.
I know. I counted on it was a one.
Are we gonna have final things?
I
We can think about it for a legal.
well, it's nice to have a place to get it.
Okay. No problem.
So, what do you do?
I'm a magazine. It's called Stout. It's new. I just started it this year.
So, what do you do? What is the, like,
Awesome, thank you.
It's the journey, success profiles. So basically, I'm kind of equalizing success a little bit. I'll cover. So I launched with Brett Hurt, but I also will cover like a everyday success type story too. It's more humanity level stuff, leadership through that kind of genre. It's cool. I'm Christy.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Monica.
Nice to meet
Nice to
you.
meet you. That is really cool.
Yeah. I know, check it out. I'm just going into audience building now, so I've just been kind of like.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Good.
Yeah, good to see you again. Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Is it starting at 6 or at 6:30?
At 6, but we're running on pivot time. There's stuff on 16th floor. This is the Hispanic Hackers. What's going on across? Yeah, this startup week, man, there's stuff going on like everywhere. Yeah, all kinds of things. Tomorrow night's like a really huge event, like a startup crawl. Yeah. Okay, it's a massive party. Essentially, a startup crawl. It's they open up. Actually, they open up this whole. They take over this whole bottom part, I think. And then other companies, like I think Indeed, it has a thing, and Galvanize I saw has a couple. Galvanize, yeah. And there's like a bus that takes you around, and it's just and it's like
They need to go
drinking party.
it's a big drinking party. Yeah, but I mean that's really like what it is. You can take a drinking tour of all the companies and out there that are participating. So yeah, that's awesome. But they do like a recruiting thing here. A lot of the startups in Capital Factory set up booths. They do hiring and stuff.
I went to the diversity hackathon.
Oh, how'd that go?
It's cool. There was a lot of interesting.
Did you see my buddy Lucas talk about the command line stuff?
Which one was that?
He was doing an intro to the command line. That was the one I was supposed to do, but then I had to travel, so I got my friend to go.
No, I didn't get to go to that one. I didn't do any of the workshops, which I did. I just didn't have time, but
Did you win?
no, there were a lot of them. I didn't pitch. I didn't have time to.
Okay. Yeah. Who won?
So is
A lot of
it
people.
for us?
There were like 4
Yes,
winners.
but we don't.
Yeah, I mean, one of the more interesting ones. First was.
They're kind of.
She worked for volunteer for the border for people who, I guess, people were crossing illegally but passed away on the route there, like trying to get bodies back to the families and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
So her,
Hardcore.
there was some intense, like real projects in that. Like, it was interesting. I liked it.
That's awesome.
It's like, that was something I never thought about. Yeah, we apparently all volunteers. She was trying to develop like a database that kind of try to locate people, get back to their families.
It's crazy. Oh, you know, you got did you get at least like a good learning experience?
Yeah,
from it?
met quite a few people there. It was fun.
Hi, I'm Veronica. Nice to meet you.
I'm just quizzing Dr. Guy because I no money. I can stealth to the
Or
door.
napkins or something. Great, great. So what do you do?
I'm on a fabrication engineer. So I work for a contractor out here, so they do prefab work for a lot of new construction buildings.
Who is that?
The company's called Porter Company. So all piping, all sheet metal, buildings.
So is it a lot, is it techie?
No, not right now. Kind of one of their pushes with the company, which is why they brought me on, was kind of implementing new technology into it. So
I saw this one where they're doing the 3D printing for furniture, and they're putting in some gel or something that is allowing it to be like sit still long enough for it to create a whole thing.
way ahead of where I'm at.
I am not a technical person, but I just saw that on Snapchat or something.
Like the company I work with, a huge tech in this field, but so we do something called BIM, which is building information models. So we design the entire building information model. So stuff like
So it's like a smaller little 3D model that y'all create.
no, it's visual model.
Oh, okay, so it's on the computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So say this building, first you do a slab. Okay, so we design the BIM model, you're standing on top of the slab, like where there's nothing, and you'll have your little iPad, and it'll show you where like all this
I've
is.
seen that. I think I've seen something similar on a show.
Well, the way we use it for construction, so like before they put the drywall up, you have to put all the stuff behind it, the piping, the fixtures, the light fixtures, and everything else. Well, not the light fixtures, but across the piping. So the way we use the new model is we'll design everything, put it in place, so when we start putting the walls in, the pipe's already there. So we're not to put the walls up and then cut around, fit tight. You already know where it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's interesting.
And so your interest is technology.
Yes.
Behind that type of stuff.
I've been going into learning. I'm getting more into the data side.
Have you been to any of the meetups before from school?
Yeah, the one before the diversity hackathon.
Okay, the diversity hackathon.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
It was listed here. It was
Was that the one by Women in Code?
yes.
Okay, I did that one. Not this one.
Hey, look. Did you see me there? I was a mentor.
Where?
The web VR thing. The spider thing where you simulate get over your phobia.
Yeah, you pitched that one, or you work with them?
Yeah, well,
Oh, okay. That was interesting.
TV is everywhere.
Huh?
and
TV is everywhere.
Oh.
He just got back from Romania. Yes,
Yes.
this is I know.
Oh yeah, tons of stuff going on. Tons and
So
tons
there's
of
two
stuff.
times. It was 6:30 and 6.
Really?
Yeah, because
Where was there 6:30?
I think in my calendar it was 6:30. I think I was pushing. I don't think I signed up for it.
Schedule thing for
Diverse, often diverse.
No, when I clicked on it, I went to the calendar, it said 6 o'clock, but I think the calendar,
Diverse from
like,
like
it uploaded to my calendar, it said 6:30.
That's because
That's shit.
typically our meetings are
How's you?
but it's just this time slot we got for our startup week. So I wonder if it like had it in safety. Meetup? Was it for meetup that
I
you
think
did?
that's what it was. Because I signed up, I signed up for it and it showed on my
I'm
calendar.
gonna be able to recognize you tomorrow.
When I came in here, I asked like, what time it was, it was 6 o'clock.
Is it 6 to 8?
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. I can
telling you that, I'm
Here's my card.
So I actually
Look it up
have
on
some
YouTube.
background.
You can see the video. Lots of videos.
It's like a
That's
review
the one
application, but
physics.
special needs community. So I have
It's small,
better
biochem.
I have a little girl with autism, and so I'm finding ways for
Hi.
us to,
You from
like as
Hispanic
parents,
community?
when you go to school or a restaurant
I
or
didn't
something,
see all
and
that.
it's super
Oh, I've been
inclusive
working
and
breakfast.
accessible,
I'm
they
trying to
get
talk to you.
buzzed,
If
they
you
weren't like
invited me.
sting, and
Yeah,
it's
I'll
a way
start
for us to
talking
kind
to
of
you.
like,
I guess it has to
gently
be
nudge
early.
our
I had
community
coffee.
to be
Yeah, I
more
had to get my
disability
coffee.
friendly.
Yeah, it was great. I met a lot of
That's not like something you can find.
this is very
Yeah, and you don't find that.
organized. I didn't that's really that's my
There really isn't, and it's
Louis,
something
it's a
that
pleasure to meet you. Yeah, thanks for coming.
so it's a way to engage rather than being like, really, you're only just
How are you?
Oh, doing great, doing great.
or like just accept whatever they're giving you, or
I'm one of the.
that's really all we're able to do in this
I know where.
it's a way for us to have like a
Okay.
friendly conversation and talk about
Okay,
what we
which
need
one are
and
you?
how you can grow our business.
That one, okay.
And it's not a
I think,
nonprofit because
yeah, that one.
I want for it to be something
So I
where
think they were a little introduction.
as an individual that is received like charity, it's not very empowering. So if you're able to go in there and say, this was my experience, good, bad, and ugly, and I hope that you can, hey, how's it going? Good. So that's what, it's a way, it's a different, so if you're already going to Allen Job, or if you're already going to the you've got your $20, right? Why not go to a place that is a little bit more accessible? We're not asking for any extra money. We're just asking you to funnel your funds and your resources there. And then the next business will be like, hey, why didn't you give his money over there? Why didn't you give it to us? And then they'll start coming with ways to be inclusive.
So I have a friend
Yeah. So I'm with a bunch of different organizations for families, and I do a lot of advocacy in the community. Most of what I've done is through children's mental health, and so it's with that experience that rather than me being in every single house, like cheering people on, it's kind of a way for me to technology is such a cool way to like influence our world without having to be
There is a big need for that. He's very big on social media posting events. I remember he posted one where we all the leader was and had like a sensory day.
Yes, those things are things that our community needs to know more about, and they can be like, yay, and then we all go there.
Yeah.
And then this place will be here, will be like, well, we should do something like that.
Yeah.
Is it an app? It's gonna be an app. Right now it's a website. And then tomorrow, it's better be
Well, we got
Yeah.
so, we gotta get busy.
This site called ASW.
Right?
Really?
And
We got pizza.
he's
Same to you, so.
creative and he's done, well, I've done as a child and I still know.
Yeah.
Like he's had like just like there's like a movie going on in his house. So really, I would see Jackson.
No, pizza, yeah.
I'm often
Yeah, they're all kinds of, they just start with pizza.
and then it's, and I've got a lot of great, so I'm part of the National Federation of Wine, Bella, which is an awesome leader and a lot of children's mental health things. And so everybody's really excited about it, but because I'm not a technical person, it's taking a little bit longer. And there's like, yes, there's things, yes. And there's also one in Round Rock. There's starting to come up. Yeah. They're coming up with some really cool stuff. And I'm always on social media, so like us on Facebook. I'm always like giving shout outs to community things going on. It's better people projects. Yeah, I wrote a book about
And I was like, you know, we're gonna take, it's like, lights on, and it's white, and then like you open the doors, and it's all like strobe
inspired
lights.
everybody
and,
that
you
is to embrace being different.
Are you serious?
You know, yeah.
Pretty much. Oh, yeah, everyone gets a free pill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all great.
There's so much.
It was a lot of people.
Stop right there.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I'm obsessed with it. So,
I love it.
hopefully yeah, and then I'm also a co-organizer.
No, no, you've heard of it?
Yeah.
I'll put mine before, but I've been since 2003. When I got here, they just started building the first front tower. Almost be. Before front tower. There you go. There you go.
Sorry, can I get one? No, it's on permit.
We got this week, we do a monthly meetup, here.
Well, yeah,
Hispanic
so
artists.
we moved to a little bit for it to be during Saturday. Yes.
We moved it an hour. Well, we meet every second Wednesday night, we're gonna do something or other next month.
Oh, yeah. It was 6, yeah, we didn't get anything.
Let everybody who submitted
We're engineers, like,
It was just one, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sometimes upstairs.
On the 16th.
Yeah, but there was 6. Yeah,
It depends, I mean, we've had events this week, like ABB.
Dallas,
So, time of the year, kind of.
you got 5 minutes to pitch.
So what's the
Things that you actually explain.
It's an actual
And basically, we learned Friday, but they did one of those classes. Was it like
Other software to to solve a problem.
So not about one something, right? When you solve a problem, the other people they would
real life?
the one for us in the town.
How to secure the job.
Yeah, we've learned that. Let me know your favorite.
There are a lot of cool projects on there.
Looking forward to learning something.
Yeah.
I mean, I never saw you buy it. Just this last thing with somewhat. You are inviting the five to do ordinance.
Tomorrow I'll meet up.
State farm,
So I'm actually for 5 days and then back to San Antonio.
checking the box.
And it's like, I mean, so it's
I was actually debating if I should park here in the building, but
So
it doesn't look like they're, like they do Dollywood parking.
what did we stimulate? I think it was like this is sleeping or there. So I think what you are too is hopefully I think it's like is there a certification process that's validated or you get maybe long term? Because it has to get stamped with approval, so when they go in an interview, they're like, oh, you want to do this, they don't really know that.
We have those with new companies that are hiring, and we have them bring an engineer.
What is your claim?
And then, there's no, additional guys.
Oh, yeah.
There's always been at least one follow-up. Yeah, there was one guy that, he almost hired him, but he got a better job somewhere. The people over there. So,
I'm trying to save it as much as possible.
All right, moving up in your mouth.
Technically, so.
Yeah, open your mouth.
Así es, por favor.
You can still work it,
I do work for myself right now, and I'm trying to use that as a basis to do this and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
kind of like the route I wanted to take.
unas cosas, unas cuantas
I work at like
el es el socio principal de consorcio.
Yeah.
Some folks, did you guys have this event saved on your calendar at 6 or 6:30? 6. Some people said that they got it saved at 6:30, so we're gonna wait a couple minutes.
They're lying.
And then we'll get started for real. But in the meantime,
I'm gonna
pizza.
sneak out a little bit, so.
Okay.
Me too, it's
Okay.
never flushed on the content.
Okay, no worries. In the meantime, yeah, there's pizza. Help yourselves.
Es el agricultor de aguacate de
Yeah,
todo
it's
el
over here.
aguacate más grande.
I mean, it's not live, but.
Enterprise, the car company.
No, it's like structure of the
It's an enterprise.
Is that already bought? Have you already watched it, or are you still looking for it?
Early stage, we have a couple pilots going. We're trying to get, I think we're pretty close to getting them. Yeah, we're still doing
Whenever I have a job like this, I get so focused on whatever I feel like see how that works. And so
they have to better software. Doing other stuff, but back in the day,
Pero no puedes hacer
well, what
nada.
I'm getting at is, I guess, from zero to
Right, so then, yeah, you see it. Congratulations.
like I'm preparing to.
Yeah, there's plenty of, man, there's plenty of work.
No, they are not going to está ahí, porque ahorita está ayudando a Chiapas, él está ayudando con el recuerdo, ayudarle a
Okay.
That's right. I was the first one to say that.
de la primera conversación, de la primera
I think that's about So I come from a drama background, so I worked at places that have platforming, so e-commerce platforms and online and so I'm pretty familiar with, I could really have their website also. So I was thinking, okay, well, I'll do that. The framework, I'll do the whole shebang as a school. And so I did that. And so, but the actual business itself was so I went down my license and so I do that. And so the website itself is just a simple vendor says, and so because anything that was tech is interesting, so I never really with PayPal and check that out, right? And the next thing that I want to do is something but I want to do that don't get
All right, let's get this going. This is the Hustling Hispanic Hackers Meetup Startup Week Edition. Thank you all for coming. My name is Eddie Reyes, and this is Veronica. This is Frank. This is Zumi, and we're all co-organizers of this group. we do a monthly meetup every second Wednesday of the month. And it so happens that, you know, there's startup week, second Wednesday of the month, so we got a startup week. This group, this is one of like the leading groups in Austin for promoting diversity in technology. Our main goal is we want to have this comfortable environment where folks from diverse backgrounds can come and see you know, folks that are really doing cool things in technology, and just to come and feel welcome in this community. You know, feel welcome in, you know, in trying to get a technology job, in starting a technology company. And we have different kinds of events. For instance, next month we're going to have a coding interview practice event. So for folks that are looking for a job writing code, doing software, one of the big barriers to entering a job is the whiteboard coding interview. You have to solve a problem on the spot that somebody just invented that probably hasn't been thought through very well most of the time. And you gotta like come up with a solution right there on the spot. Even if you're a very good programmer, it's not always, the skills don't always transfer to like coming up with a quick solution. The best way to get good at that is to practice. And we're gonna bring some applicants through the grinder of the interview process so that they can see like what it really takes to pass these interviews.
We usually have some recruiters here too.
And we usually have recruiters, yes. Folks from companies that are hiring. Yeah. So
The last time the Home Away was a big sponsor. They had their hiring managers there.
we had Home Away. Yeah, we had we're planning on with Indeed at some point. We're trying to get that nailed down. We've had a few software consulting shops that from town also sponsored the coding interview event. So we'll have somebody cool next month. We'll keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for that. I'm going to hand it over to Veronica, and she's going to talk about some of the cool, you know, a little bit more about our group and our mission and some of the cool accomplishments that folks in our community have done lately.
Yeah, well, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for coming. We're really excited because we recently just launched our website. So if you get a chance, please check it out. We've had some of our own hackers volunteer and put it together for us, which is amazing. We have a leadership committee. If anybody wants to get involved, we need more women because there's just me. So if we could get some more representation from women in this group, it would be amazing.
Diversity is strength.
And the other thing is that we are, it's not just, I have no technical background. I'm an entrepreneur. That is how I have entered into Hispanic Hackers, and they've been an excellent support group and an excellent group of colleagues to really bounce ideas off of and really helpful. So if you know anybody that's in that boat, you know, invite them to come with you. So the name of this is called Pushing Back, and because of the environment that Latinos have been around, and really people of color, we wanted to have, the best way to push back is to give ourselves, carve out a space where we can talk about our ideas, we can talk about our innovations, we can share some of our successes, and that's what this whole thing is for. We want to hear from you guys, we want to know what you guys are coming up with, and so something that's pretty exciting right now from Hispanic Hackers is that we're trying to build strong partnerships in the community. We want to give our community, which is at about like, I think we have 1,200 people that are signed up with us, with Hispanic Hackers. So we have a good amount of people that we're serving. And so we're trying to reach out to community organizations. One of them is Be Visible. I don't know if y'all have heard of that. It's like Facebook and LinkedIn for Latinos. And so I invite you guys to check it out. It's at bevisible.soy, and they're really starting to create a presence here in Austin. We invite you guys to like us on Twitter and on Facebook, and we're always sending out job posts. If you have if you know somebody that's hiring, send it to us, and we'll put it out there for our hackers. If you have a success that you would like to share with our community, or something that you haven't asked, you would like to ask our community, let us know. You can message us on Meetup, and we can do that type of thing. So we're really here to serve our community. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We have the president, Luis Rodriguez, here, and he is, Austin stole him from San Antonio. He did some amazing stuff in San Antonio. He has a lot of energy and innovation, and we're really excited about him being here. So we wanted to give him a chance to talk a little bit about what the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce offers here in Austin.
I'm going to sit next to this great sign that says Hispanic Hacker, and maybe cross out the S so I can be an official Hispanic Hacker. And I am so sorry because I am badly overdressed to be here right now. I'm literally coming from my board retreat. I just did a quick background. I just took this new great position as the new CEO of the Greater Austin Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I just finished my 90-day, probation period where this board retreat, I had to give my 90-day executive summary, kind of share the highs and lows. I only had nothing but great stuff to say because it's a great city. And a bit of good news is they're keeping me. So I signed, my contract, so I'm officially going to be here, and I can't wait to really dive in. I'm a blessed man. I have a wonderful wife who's in tech. She's a racker. There's a rack space presence in Austin, Texas. She's been there for 14 years. She's an electrical engineer, but she's in the cloud, whatever that is. Y'all probably know more so than I do, but I know it's important. And because she brings home the bacon, right? And she's also served our country in the Air Force, so she's really excited to be coming up here as well with our two princesses of daughters, Isabella and Madeline, a 7 and 11-year-old. So I have a 7-Eleven at my own house. So, thank y'all for allowing me to be here. I'm excited to be a part of this organization because in reality, Austin's kind of a very cool city. I don't know if y'all know that. I'm pretty sure y'all do, but coming from San Antonio and working in an organization that really thrives for economic development, everyone was always looking at Austin. When we would go to trade missions, when we go to Mexico, go to Spain, Israel, Cuba, everyone asked, how close are you to Austin, Texas? I'm just like, wow, if you're asking, it's 6 to 8 miles away, world apart. And we are. Culturally, San Antonio is great. The Riverwalk, historically, they're about to celebrate their tricentennial celebration next year. But when you talk about synergy and economic development and success in small businesses, Austin, it's not only in Texas, but I strongly believe in the United States. I think we're giving San Francisco and others a big run for the money. Seattle, I mean, we all know Amazon headquarters number 2 is coming here. I don't even know why they do the RFP public. You got to do what you got to do to check the boxes. But a little about this organization. It was founded in 1973. We're going to celebrate our 45th anniversary next year. I'm excited because coming from San Antonio, that's the first Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Established in 1929. And they're going to celebrate 89 years next year. This organization is going to celebrate 45 years, and I got to meet 3 of the 5 founding members. And that is so awesome to just hear their stories, why it was created, and the growth they've seen. Y'all know more than I, the economic growth here is incredible. From a Hispanic perspective, we have over 14,000 Hispanic-owned businesses in Austin, Texas. That's 2,000 more than San Antonio. Just saying, Leroy, don't vote it against me. These are the facts. The numbers are what they are. And it's because this is a city that really thrives with small business and helping them grow. I mean, Startup Week Austin is just a great example of what we see here today. As a chamber, we try to do a great job of ensuring our small business members get in front of procurement opportunities. That's what we did a lot of in San Antonio. That's what we're going to do here. We want to ensure our businesses learn how to become certified, know the importance of that women's certification, that small business certification, that veteran certification that was just put on there as well, so it could help them attain governmental contracts, local city contracts, public entity contracts that will help them scale up and grow as a business. It could be anything from technology to the service industry. From a chamber standpoint, we're about 600 members strong. We're going to grow that with an annual budget of over $1 million. So very proud of what this organization does and what we continue to do. And we have great relationships with our corporate members here. I mentioned Indeed, Google, IBM, and we have good relationships with them because we also have great relationships with our small business members where when there's a procurement opportunity for them, we're able to connect the two. with hopes that that small business member will become a certified vendor for one of these corporate entities, and more importantly, become a vendor that does business with them. We have a great board. It's chaired by Christine Vasquez, a dynamic Latina leader here. She's the president of Dell Seaton. That's a hospital, right? Dell Seaton. It is, isn't it? Dell Seaton Healthcare, right?
Yeah, I think it's just called Delsey.
Thank you, Dell Seaton Health. She's their president and CEO, and we have a great chairman-elect who's younger than I am, which is kind of neat, right? But there's a lot of millennials in Austin, and that's cool. I'm a Gen Xer. I married a millennial, but I'm really excited about what Christopher Rios. He's one of the executive vice presidents at Texas Capital Bank. A great board with great leadership. And we hope to continue to do great things in Austin. In 2015, your Greater Austin Hispanic Chamber of Commerce was the recipient of the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce Award, which is a very hard award to receive, and this chamber received it because of the great work it's doing. We're also big on education, and similar to what y'all are doing here, we have kind of like a Shark Tank. It's called Startup Superstars, where we partner up with some Title I schools from Austin Independent School District. They're your high schools, and each high school will have a competition within themselves where they're going to find the best entrepreneurial idea from their high school, and each of them are going to select one to go compete against the other ones, and then we all meet up, and we have some great business leaders, community leaders there, and they give their pitch. And the winning team, they each get, it's a team of 3, they each get a $5,000 scholarship, and all the teams there get a Chrome notebooks from Google. But the ideas that are thrown out there are incredible, and these are high schoolers. They get 10th, 11th, and 12th graders pitching some great ideas. I'm going to invite you to this next one so you could just see someone created an app of ordering Mexican food at a movie theater, so her abuelita, her grandma, could feel at home watching movies. And also, not only can you order Mexican food, but I looked at it, the app would create subtitles in Spanish, so if you put it there, and so they're able to read what's playing. I don't know if Alamo Draft House would allow it, right, because they're big on the phones not being out there, but it was just the neatest concept. And so those ideas are flourishing. Obviously, they're Title I schools. Those are your schools in Austin who are not at the, they're at the poverty level, and they're 88% Hispanic. So just to help stimulate young Latino or Latino's mind to become an entrepreneur is just incredible. On top of sharing the importance of a higher education. So we're really big on education, small business development, your typical economic development. I have the pleasure of serving on the task force. We're trying to recruit Amazon here. We have a niche. I think we're going to get them. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's Austin, Amazon. They just bought Whole Foods. You just connect the dots. It's inevitable. And also we have a great relationship with Mexico. I mean, we all know how important Mexico is in our Latin partners down south and throughout the world. And we just signed a memorandum of understanding with Monterrey for 5 years, focused on our continued partnership in economic development and doing biannual trade missions with them. So I'm happy to share a card with each and every one of y'all. If there's something that when y'all visit our website and you see an interest and you'd like to participate, just feel free to come. We're at the Hispanic Chamber. Siempre estás en tu casa. You always have a home with us. And you know, being Hispanic is a state of mind. So you don't even have to be Hispanic. You just show up and come right in, and we'll greet you with big hugs and welcome you, because that's just our culture. And you know, I don't want to talk too much and take up too much of your time, and I know the pizza's getting cold, but I'd like to entertain any questions that y'all might have. I'm happy to answer any questions whatsoever.
Did you do anything special for our members?
Did we do anything special? You know, that's a great question. We think every member is special.
Yeah, but there seems like a big correlation between Hispanic hackers and the chamber.
Oh, for Hispanic hackers. Yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe I'm glad to partner up. We were just teaming up with, just strategizing with Bev. I was learning about the coding classes, and you know, that's important, and just finding ways to create synergies between the both of us to help provide the proper platform to achieve the success it rightfully deserves. Yeah. And I even share maybe a certification process. Well, you know, as a vision, sure, you go through it, you get a certification, and we get with our businesses around town and say, if they have a certification on their resume, that means a lot. Sure. That means that they know what they're doing, and we need to hire them. So absolutely. So, you know, that's just one quick idea that we had from our brief conversation. But no, Hispanic hackers, and we're ready to support you all in every step of the way. I mean, just the moment I met Vero, just what she's doing and how passionate she is, and the rest of the team, you know, cuenta con nosotros, you can count with us, and I'm doing my best to connect y'all already with some folks as well. But no, absolutely, I take it you're part of the Hispanic hackers as well then.
Of course.
No, absolutely. I'm happy to do collaborative efforts with you all. There's no need for us to reinvent anything you're already doing, but if y'all would provide us with the opportunity to partner up and collaborate, I'm all about building partnerships, building bridges.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So this event is about showcasing the members of our community that are doing really cool things in entrepreneurship. Frank is one of our resident startup mentors, and he just had his company get acquired. His company is called Just Legal, and they did services for lawyers to help lawyers book appointments and customers. And yeah, we're gonna let Frank bask in the glory of.
They want to ask me 20 questions.
Yeah. Getting Just Legal acquired, and then we'll get on with pitches after that.
Sounds good. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what Just Legal is for you guys, those of you who don't know. The American Bar Association says 80%, this is their statistics, so it's kind of low. 80% of people who need legal services don't get them. So it's not an underserved market, it's 80% unserved. So you just think about that, that's a lot of people. I mean, right now it's a $14 billion market today, only serving 20% of the citizens. So the other 80% of people's needs are just going unmet. They're on their own, and they need legal services. And we can solve this problem. You know, there's problems in the way. Maybe it's you don't have a checking account. Until recently, many states wouldn't even let you pay your lawyer with a credit card. And especially if you're a lower income person, you may not have a checking account. So how are you going to even pay this lawyer? And they kind of made it structurally, the system was broken. Now, I think it's all but one state is down to the point where you can pay with a credit card. But that's a very recent change. And it's hard, lawyers don't change or adopt new systems quickly. It's like they don't change. I mean, most of them, they're still using WordPerfect. They still have AOL accounts. You know, I mean, that's the reality of this marketplace. So they're over here in old tech, and people over here are in new tech on their cell phones trying to get help. And they're not getting it. 80% unserved. So when I look at that, I see there's a lot of possibility for elasticity in the market. And what do I mean by elasticity, if you don't know? Think about Netflix. When Netflix came to the world, the whole video rental market was a small, maybe like $6 billion marketplace. $6 billion is a lot of money, but that's how big the whole country, worldwide video rental marketplace, $6 billion. Them alone now is over $60 billion for online video rental. And that's just their segment. It doesn't count everybody else. They invented a new market, expanded something that already existed, and made it available for everybody electronically. That's what I want to do with legal. So we started in Colorado and Texas. It was founded by some college students at the University of Colorado, and I joined them this time last year in October, helping them as an advisor. And in about the January, February time, I joined as their CTO to help them get the technology to a point where we can deliver the services. The technology is there now. In Colorado, in Texas, where you can look at the lawyer, see their qualifications, see what their prices are, and actually book an appointment with them, and either do a point-to-point video conference or meet with them in person, do a phone consultation. All right there, point and click, the appointment shows up on their phone, you get reminders, they get reminders. It's working, people are using it, it's very functional. And today, we get to announce that our assets of our company have been acquired by a larger publicly held company called Digital Tech. That company is focused. That company is focused on the smart city marketplace. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of smart city. A lot of efforts, especially starting from the European side, are going towards smart city, trying to help cities take advantage of the cloud and other technologies available to provide it to a community. Instead of thinking of these one-stop shop sites like Google, perhaps, things are local. Your pizza place is local. You live here. So why not think about things in terms of your city? So an example site that we did is London, .London, and they have .London.city. So you can actually look up London and buy things in London, and you have a digital wallet that works in London, and it's kind of focused on London. And they're rolling that out across the world. They're working with several cities. And one of the things that I'm going to be doing is rolling out this legal vertical I just explained to you about finding a lawyer under .law. So I'm going to start in Colorado, and I'll use the Colorado cities .law. So you can imagine Denver.law, Boulder.law, and you can find legal services that way. And I'll come to Texas, and I'll do Austin.law, and Dallas.law, and San Antonio.law, and so forth, and cover the whole country. So people locally can find that legal service, get help, sort of a point and click, helping the people in the end, but also helps the lawyers. Because all that technical stuff they're not good at, I just give it to them. You know, they just need to sign up and they get the technology and they can use it. So it solves problems with both ends and helps advancing this to provide legal services to the masses. Help other people, everyone get help. So ask me questions. This is a sort of give you the overview, but you can ask me questions. Yes, sir.
What made you go through and want to start Just Legal out of everything now?
Well, I was an advisor at Capital Factory, or I was working at Capital Factory. I wasn't an official advisor. I was working at Capital Factory for myself. I was doing consulting business. And there's a lot of startups at Capital Factory. But many of them you can see you're kind of 9 to 5. You know, they come in around 9 to 10. They leave around 4:30 or 5:30. You know, they're not. I'm from the Bay Area, from Palo Alto, where most of my startups have done that. And over there, we're working what I call half day, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's 12 hours, half of the day. Over here, they're working 9 to 5 or less. It's like, come on. So there's 2 companies here at the time that were not working 9 to 5. They were working half day or better. And one was Just Legal, and the other one's called Shipwell. And that company is helping to, I guess, modernize the freight business and helping with freight brokers. So both these companies doing very well, really putting a lot of effort on, and in the evenings I was doing whiteboard sessions with them, giving them advice, and helping them get to the point to raise money. And both ended up raising money. And actually, Shipwell just got announced for raising one of the most monies this year. We have a award upstairs today. Not that it's important, we need to get this stuff done. The investors for Just Legal insisted that I join the company to help with the tech, and we raised the money.
So no lawyer.
No, I've got lots of lawyer experience. I spent a lot of money on lawyers.
So, like, your main background is in technology development?
Yes. Yeah. Technology development. I started programming when I was 11. I wrote my version of Space Invaders when I was 12. I wrote Eliza when I was 12, if you know that program, it's famous. Did it as a child back in '81. So I started then. I got into Kaiser Williams computer programming, so I had my own mini with 8-inch floppy disks. You guys even know what a floppy disk is? So I was pretty involved in computers my entire life. And then I got a full scholarship at the University of California, and when I was a junior, a professor was making a startup company, and he was asking everybody who the best programmer was, and everybody said it was me. So he convinced me to join a startup company, which generally I think may have been a mistake. But I did that, and I've been doing startup companies ever since. I helped create over 40 companies. I was a venture capitalist for about 12 years. So, yeah, mostly technology background. I built some pretty good communications companies. That's probably the biggest successes I've had. Technology, like fiber optic communications around the country, and I have 2 satellite communication patents. So yeah, thank you, Doug.
There's this thing about minorities and tech entrepreneurship and raising funding, but you kind of make it sound so easy.
It's not easy.
Tell us about being a minority in tech entrepreneurship and trying to raise funding.
Well, the challenge for me initially when I was raising funding for some of these early companies, the challenge for me at first was the fact that, I don't have any credentials. I didn't even have a freaking bachelor's degree. I'm 6 years away from a bachelor's degree. So how do I prove myself? So I started proving myself by coding, by showing example working code and solving problems. being a problem solver, and then working at some companies, like I worked at Epic Software, and I rose to the ranks there pretty quick. I worked at HP, I worked at Apple, and I left a trail behind me of successes. And anybody who worked with me said, man, that guy, get him if you can. And just putting the extra effort in at every point. And then I ended up at this company called Netcom. And Netcom turns out to be the first ISP to go public. I was the guy taking all the press calls trying to explain to the press what the internet was. That was me. I created the first 86 dial-up pops across the United States. Created the first fiber network connecting modems across the United States. So it was difficult stuff, but I did those things. And then since then, people can say, hey, he did that stuff. Those are my credentials. Success. You know, that company went public. You know, I was part of that. I was one of the 4 shareholders, part of the IPO, and then they ended up selling it off for $600+ million. I think it could have went much better. And then I've done successful companies after that. But it's not easy, and being a minority, it makes it tougher. You know, having Robles on my resume makes it tougher, and then not having a degree makes it tougher. Many of the PhDs that I know that seek information from me, you know, when I go to the meeting, they call me Dr. Robles, and they know I have a PhD. But they give me that level of respect because I'm actually bringing them information. They're not giving me information, I'm helping them. And sometimes it's too much. I would like to have that PhD, but I've got to stop and go do it. I'm making too many companies and trying to make money. So that's the problem. So those are the challenges, and that's kind of how I overcame them. But it's not easy.
What do you think is the social disconnect between the tech industry and minorities like us? I mean, why, since you've been in this business for so long, why hasn't there been a leader to change the social perception of the role that Latinos should play in this industry?
I think it's a group dynamic, partly. I mean, one person, you can't expect one person to do it alone, especially in tech. Like in sports, you can look to an individual and he's very highly visible. You see that individual being successful and people look to them. But in tech, you know, you don't see what's going on in the back room. It's very hard to see those individuals. The individuals you see are the CEOs. Like this company that we just got acquired today, the CEO is a young millennial, you know, white Anglo-Saxon. You know, so if you see his face, he said, you know, it's like he doesn't represent, all the guys that are going along with the purchase are all Hispanic. I'm Hispanic, my engineering team was 100% Hispanic. That's what they bought. They kept the engineering team and me, all the Hispanic people. But, you know, the CEO, white Anglo-Saxon.
Well, and maybe as you all invest in these companies, I invite you. There are models of acquisition people, of venture capitalists in New York. One that comes to mind is Altura Capital, which they, in order to do an acquisition under Altura Capital, they require that at least 40% of their leadership be female, minority, or veteran.
A lot of companies are doing that. Not just for acquisition, it's for investment. A lot of companies, because the diversity helps drive strength. It helps break things. You know, having one flavor of something doesn't always help. You need to have different perspectives. But for overall, you know, Hispanics in tech, you know, we're starting to make inroads. But you know, a few talks ago, we had some recruiters. I think it was Amazon was here, or
Amazon was.
Yeah, Amazon was telling us, you know, what the breakdown was in terms of, you know, their representation, how, you know, their percentage of blacks, their percentage of women, their percentage of Hispanics. These numbers are completely disproportionate, like amazingly so, embarrassingly so. You know, and those are the things that us as an organization, you know, want to try to affect. Because we need to get qualified candidates into those positions. Yes, sir.
Just, do you feel kind of connected to your Hispanic roots, just on an everyday level? Like, I myself, I speak Spanish at home, but not really anywhere else.
Mixed.
Yeah.
Mixed. I mean, you know, with my sons, sure. You know, part of my family, yes. You know, with the guys who work for me, clearly. But my wife is Ukrainian, so I get to learn Russian. It's Ukrainian, so it's mixed. But I don't feel disconnected. The other thing I do want to do is help dial in the community and help raise people where I can. You know, I think it's sort of an each one pull on kind of situation, whereas each of us make a step forward, we should be reaching back, helping the others up. And that's how we're going to get there. That's how we've been displaced. I mean, a lot of people get a job at a person and they end up hiring people who look like them. They end up hiring people from their group of contacts. You know, so where's ours? You know, ours doesn't exist. We need to create it. You know, we need to create that pool where we can interact with each other and work with each other and help each other get into those right positions and support one another. And it's not just, you know, us versus them. It's trying to get to an equality situation where it should have been already. You know, it's sort of systemically broken for various reasons. I mean, at one point, you know, we couldn't vote. At one point, Hispanics couldn't buy property in certain areas of town. I mean, those are the facts. I mean, there's Supreme Court cases that got fought and won. Some of them through San Antonio. I met some of those guys. I mean, those were hard-fought cases back in the late 50s, early 60s that don't get a lot of publicity. But it was the truth. And, you know, we're still fighting this fight. Just think, if your family couldn't even buy a home in a decent community back in the 50s, so then when grandma and grandpa died 20 years later, who inherited that home? Nobody. It didn't exist. But for the Anglo communities, they inherited those homes. That's the beginning of their life. Right? And then they took that. What did they do? They bought another home. You know, and they're working their way up. You know, Hispanic communities, they're still at step number 0. You know, so there's a built-in inequality in the system. You know, and now most of those are gone. You know, but we still have to overcome it.
Great, thank you.
That's the
So, next up is Veronica. She's one of our co-organizers, and Veronica's going to pitch her startup, which is called Better Beehive Project.
So yes, I am founder of Better Beehive, and Better Beehive is basically like Yelp for the special needs community, and it's really a place where we're trying to advocate for disability friendly to just mean good for business. So basically, the way that it works is that so I have a little girl and a little boy, and both of them have special needs, and I've worked in children's mental health my entire life. And so it's kind of a way that when you're out and about, you're at a school or at a restaurant or at a hotel or at Disney World or anywhere, and if they're inclusive, if they're accessible, if they're a place that is graceful with you and that accepts you and your family, then they receive a buzz. If they do not, they receive a sting. And it's a way for the special needs community to share their journey, and by sharing their journey, changing our world to be more disability friendly. So let's say that you are at Capital Factory and they have accessible programming, or next week during October, the latter part of October, which is Disability Employment Month, they're going to have a whole lab where you're going to get a VR experience and be able to empathize with people that have disabilities. So that is accessible programming. So they would absolutely get a buzz. So other places, other accelerators in the community, if they would like to earn our time and our money and our resources, then they should also have those types of programming. So it's just a way for us to do that type of thing. It is not a nonprofit. It is a way for us to, I mean, everybody likes money, right? And businesses especially like money. We're in the United States, it's capitalism, and anytime that the market demands something from us, businesses respond with innovation and creativity. Right now in Austin, there are 4,900 nonprofits asking for your time and your money. What we're asking for is if you're already going to go out to eat with your family, you already have your $20 that you're going to spend, why not spend it at a place that is disability friendly and has been considered that way by the disability community? And so it's then when that restaurant receives your money, this restaurant over here is going to be like, why didn't I get that money? And then that's how the whole cycle will start with advocating for disability friendly businesses, organizations, and really any place. We would like to have, like wars between states, like who's more disability friendly, what are school districts that are more disability friendly, products. So there's a lot of places that Better Rehab Project could go, and we're just at the beginning. This is our minimum viable product. We've done a couple of hackathons. We were on the news about a week ago. We have a lot of people interested in what we're doing. Everything that we have done has been from people volunteering, and it's slowly but surely taking off, and we've gotten a lot of support from the disability community, which is really most important to us. So that's Better Rehab Project.
I have a contribution, I think.
Okay.
I think I'm right with this statistic, but I think that if you count the disabled community and the extended family, doesn't that represent roughly 20% of everybody?
Well, the disability community is the largest minority at 20%.
Okay.
And that's just the disability community. That's not including their family members, their teachers, people that care about them. So it really is a huge part of our population. The other thing is there's
It's like a hidden community that everybody's
yes,
aware of.
it's a hidden community because when we talk about diversity, we never talk about people with disabilities. And speaking from personal experience, a diagnosis of a family member or of yourself transcends all socioeconomics, race, gender. It transcends everything. You're really just looking for help. You're looking for resources. And so it's kind of a way to unite that and use it as a force for good. There's also a statistic where in countries that have a life expectancy of over 70, you'll spend an average of 8 years of your life considered to have a disability. So that means that, you know, we don't just wake up and die one day. We have like a whole process that happens. And so it's something that if we can empathize with others, then we can actually build a community that will serve us better also.
I think it was good.
I did, thank you, Chair. So if a business were to be considered disability friendly, would it be up to the consumer to highlight them, or would the business themselves go in there and say they're disability friendly?
So they'll have options, and that's how we will end up making money. So Yelp, the way that they do it is that you can claim your page for free, or you can advertise and have access to our community at a cost. So they will have access to our community at a cost. Yeah, and there's also, the vision is that outside of doors, there will be little badges that will have our little V on there, and will, to let the community know that this is a disability-friendly place also. It can be on their website, it can be on a lot of different things. It's just really trying to do that. And we have to give a big shout out to Carbona Development, who is also going to be talking, because they actually donated to us a whole redesign of our mobile application, which will be sometime, hopefully. And they did a fantastic job doing that. And that's what I mean by I've been doing a lot of networking, a lot of collaboration, and getting a lot of support from the community.
There's an important piece in the disabilities world that I think that you have a very great opportunity to capitalize on. There's a lot of places out there, a lot of places that are very disability friendly if you're a veteran. And to me, I mean, I appreciate people who serve our country. Unfortunately, I'm legally blind, so I will never be able to serve my country in that capacity. But that doesn't mean that I should be left out of a category that should recognize the disability that I do have. So I think that your product, what you're selling, has a great opportunity on capitalizing on opening that space, not just be to not just include veterans, but include our whole community.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Oh, he said he's living now. What does that mean? I'm sorry, what does that mean?
Meaning that I have limited vision on my right eye. So So it's considered, I mean, it's a registered disability if you know.
Students also has some really cool innovations. But yes, so, I mean, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. If you'd like to volunteer to help on the website, we are accepting people. So, thank you.
So next up, we've got Neith. So who here has worked on any software projects before? Who here has worked on a software project that went by the wayside and didn't work out so well? Notice how that's almost everybody. One of the things that people who work on software projects acquaint themselves to very early on is failure, right? And software projects fail very, very, very frequently. In fact, it costs the industry about a total of $1.2 trillion. That's in 2015. It's like higher now. It's like who knows how much more. And of all the projects that that get scheduled, about 40% of them fail. They're either really late, they never get finished, the company goes under, all kinds of things happen. It's very, very, very common. The 60% that don't fail are still probably late, but they don't classify as failure. Why is this so common? Why does this happen, right? There's many reasons for this. Some of it is kind of unique to software and some of the properties of software. But basically, it's very difficult to estimate a software project. Most of the time, developers give an estimate. It's like, don't believe it. Double it. That's one of the rules, right? However long you think it's going to take, double it. Trust me, right? So, in a team with many developers, say you have your developers, they estimated their tasks, everybody's working. How do you report progress? How, the company, the stakeholders of the company want to know, like, hey, where's this at? Like, are we going to blow up? And usually you don't find out till like it's too late. And reporting status is just dismal. It's terrible, right? And this all results in poor communication. Different parts of the team, especially bigger teams, are just not in touch with each other. That's why, most of the time software projects are very small teams because of this problem, because of the communication problem and the overhead of reporting status. Yeah.
Sometimes reporting status requires a translator.
Oh yeah, it always does.
Quite often,
Yeah.
Because the developer may have said, X, Y, Z, and if you really listen to them, you're like, you should be saying, oh shit. And the guy listening says, oh, okay. I was like, no, dude.
Like, no, you missed the signal. No, totally. Yeah, absolutely. And that, as a result, software project management is kind of stuck in the Stone Age. It's like in the Stone Age, relatively speaking, we don't do software. We don't etch software in stones, but maybe it works better, right? It's littered with manual processes. We rely on developers to report their own metrics on themselves because, as Frank said, what they say is happening in their project is difficult to translate to the non-technical people that are usually at the top of the project. There's layers of translation, and that results in a lot of inconsistency. What's a fine day to one person could be a panic today for someone else when the reality is somewhere maybe in between. So as of late, there's all these new inventions. Some people call it data analytics. Some people call it business intelligence. And companies are flocking to these kinds of technologies. Basically, enterprise data analytics, companies will spend $187 billion in total on getting data and insights into their processes and into the decision making that they should do. This has grown 50% in the last 5 years. A subset of that is predictive analytics. You got all this data. Can I use this data to forecast things that are going to happen in my team and in my company? Over the next 5 years, predictive analytics as a market is growing 2 times. And of all the new money that's going to be spent on business intelligence tools, 40% is going to be spent on predictive analysis. So why can't we do this for software project management? And that's what MindSight is doing. MindSight is bringing AI, and it's helping teams estimate their projects. It's helping them automate all the data collection, standardize all the reporting, and maximize the use of your personnel, make your projects more successful. You have your project out on GitHub, out on whatever tool. MindSight consumes it. It scans the whole history of your project. It learns the profile of all your developers. What are your developers good at? What parts of the code are they strong at? What parts of the code do they break every time they touch? What parts of the code, are they just inexperienced with? And we report to the project managers a real-time status. This is what your developers have done. This is what has been estimated, and this is how much work is left to do based on what we watch on the code. And we draw all these charts for them automatically. We give them a stoplight status of your project. This project in this time frame is red, like you're in trouble, like you're one of the 40%. Yellow, hey, you might be one of the 40% soon. Green, it's like you're on track, right? And we do this all without intruding into developers' process. I'm a developer, I'm a hacker, and we're very touchy. Like I have my environment, like my editor. I like to do my thing in my own world, and I don't want anybody to mess with my stuff. MindSight doesn't mess with your stuff, doesn't mess with your processes, it does this all passively. If a company is, I think data is best shared with everybody, but developers don't even need to know that they're being watched technically, because they don't have to change anything about how they work. And we integrate with all these tools. Right now we integrate with GitHub, with Jira. We support the following languages. It's coming. If you buy MindSight, Python's in there tomorrow. Do it real quick. and as I hit, this is a customer. We do this.
Customer driven.
It's customer driven. Absolutely. So we support multiple projects, multiple teams, and we give you insight on your individual developers. This is a very young market. This is a very new technology. There's a couple of players doing similar things, and MindSight's blown it out of the water. We're all the way. Easiest integration, most predictive. Some of these other tools, none of these tools get the real data from the code, which is where the rubber meets the road. The code is what the developers produce. There's tools that are like chatbots that help project managers communicate with people. And that's fine, but I mean the source of bad communication, the source of all the problems is the inconsistent metrics. The difficulty of translating this progress that developers are doing to others on the team, and to everybody else in the company. So that's where MindSight sits, and that's our product. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, where do I sign? We are a little company, and so I'm very familiar with all this stuff. And
awesome.
I know code. I'm certified in PSP. Ask me when I have used that. It's really difficult for a developer in his day-to-day time to actually take all those measures and do all the work and then report it to someone else and have that report go over it. So I think it's a really good idea what you're doing. Really interesting. One thing that came to mind to me was I saw you were going over the log history. For example, one thing that I have seen when I'm doing some analytics, nothing too fancy, just using GitHub graphs and all that. That I get a lot of noise from other contributors because we use a lot of open source software, and sometimes for us it makes sense, for example, to keep the history of the project, so it's easier for us to pull updates from them, even though we are doing something completely different. So how do you manage all that noise that might come from those projects?
I mean, pretty simply, if you have stuff that's in your project that's not
can you use developers?
We can exclude parts of the code that are dependencies. They're not part of your code. I think that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, or just blacklisting some developers so that their commits don't get involved into the mix or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we pick up commits that are part of your delivery, right? So say one of our pilot users they use GitHub milestones. And they mark their sprints with GitHub milestones, and then they assign issues. So we watch all the code changes that comes in for those issues. Okay. If you got people working on other stuff, we keep note of it, but we're not showing this to you in the report for this delivery. Okay. So that won't be but you're right. That's kind of one of the difficult things.
For example, one thing that I see came for example is that maybe over this month. A team of developers working on one project, and we finished it up, or pause the project for anything or whatever, and start working on something else, or maybe someone changes for a while and can come back. Do you take into account those kind of stuff? Like if a developer gets out for a week or a month of the project, so it doesn't.
Yeah, there's a few different stats that we do, right? Like like I was explaining, one of the things that we do is we kind of keep track of the developer, like baseball card, if you will, of all the stats and the attributes, their quality rates, the rates of bugs that they cause compared to like code that they contribute. We take into account all these metrics to come up with models to help you predict like the estimates of your project. If a developer's gone and they don't have work assigned to them, like we're not gonna track their stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You may look at their history and you might be like, oh, they didn't do any work this week. Why is that? Oh, they're on vacation. They're on vacation, right?
Okay.
If the guy was on vacation, but there's no
Yeah,
work
but
done
if you have multiple projects and the guy is in multiple projects, you can see like the whole
aggregate,
for each project, for all the projects together.
Yeah. As many repos, all your repos, we have, we do the per project analysis of your sprints, and then there's the developer stats, which is everything they work on in your organization.
Okay.
Yeah, good questions. Anybody else have any questions? Yeah.
How does this result into like actions to take based off of all this data? Have you seen that people can make good decisions off of the data?
Yeah. So the main thing we've seen right now is we're using this to make staffing decisions. Our early users are digital agencies. And they have a lot of different projects and a lot of different people, a lot of developers in their company. And one of their problems is staffing something with people with the right skills. And by giving them that insight, projects are staffed with the right people earlier, and then the outcomes are better. You can also see like, hey, your project's going by the wayside. By the time that happens, it's always best to solve these things as early as possible. You can see things happening like, this person. You can see who or what teams are vastly overestimating or underestimating. You can address that at that point. These problems are best solved as early as possible. So that's why we're focusing on, using these baseball cards and using these things, using this data to help people staff the right people. Because you staff the right people and then you see, oh, this person has these capabilities. You have these needs, these technical requirements. They match up to these people. We have an estimate that you're going to get there. That's the best way so far that we found to use this data. But we're learning every day. We'll have more crazy stuff going down the pipe. Any other questions? Thank you. That's a good question. All right. Okay. So we're gonna have another pitch from Carbona. Do you have any? Do you want to use the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We've got HDMI or Apple TV or You can either plug straight in or you can do. Hey, dude, you got an HDMI thing for that? Oh yeah, you can do it with AirPlay if you're in this Wi-Fi. Oh, perfect. Okay.
The walls.
Yeah, Wally. This is Wally. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This is cool.
Well, thank you everyone for being here and thank you for having us. We are Carbona, we are a web development agency. First, I'm going to describe a little bit about what I mean with my partner Marco here. I'm originally from Mexico, born and raised, and I immigrated to the United States a few years ago. I started, co-founded this company with Marco 4.5 years ago in Monterrey, Mexico. And then we landed in San Antonio. That was when we started doing business in the US. We started creating our portfolio because, as you know, as Hispanic, you cannot go to the big leagues at first. You still need to build some credibility because of the competition and everything. So San Antonio was a great place where I met a lot of good friends, family, and I felt that support from the Hispanic community. Recently, we moved to Austin to start more on a bigger market and a more competitive environment. So I'm following Luis' steps very well. And yeah, I know how collaborate with other Hispanic
Veronica just mentioned is that we need to support each other in order to grow, and we're just gonna share a little bit of what we're doing. Marco.
Yeah. So I'm Marco. Nice to meet you all. I'm the IT guy here. I'm the head of the programming team at Monterrey. And we all may work with we work a lot. We have experience working in Monterrey with a lot of startups, and that's kind of one of the markets that we have been pursuing here also. Like, we really like to help people make things happen and make ideas, take ideas into life and trying to do something better, change what everyone is doing and make something better for the world. One of our models of the company is that we try to close the gap between humans and technology by doing apps, by creating software that provides great experiences for them. So you don't feel like you're interacting with a computer, that you don't feel disconnected, that way you feel like it's a seamless experience.
Yeah, so something that we love to say is that we consider ourselves as human-centered app development company, because we don't just build software for solving a solution. We put ourselves in the shoes of the user and how they're going to feel when they interact with technology, and we're helping close that gap.
So the main products that we do is first we do UI, user experience. We work with Veronica to help her get a concept idea that she will use for her app. We also help, like I was saying, a lot of startups with their strategy for the product. So we have experiences with some customers who come with a really big idea, something that's enormous deal and that might be really difficult, and we try to help them to get that into the ground and see what might be their minimum viable product, or how they can build that and launch earlier and faster.
Can you just talk about a little bit of some of the work that we have done, and as you can see, we put a lot of effort on design.
Also, one thing that's really important for us, and one thing I have seen here in the United States, I live in Monterrey, I'm based there. I have seen the times I have been able to come here that the tech community, at least here, is really something that's thriving, and I don't see that much in Monterrey, so I mean Mexico in general. And it's one of the things that we have been trying to accomplish, like trying to get a bigger community for software. First in Mexico, we also connected that community with the community here in the United States. So with that in mind, we started hosting Laravel meetups at Monterrey. That's the main software that we use for programming. But we also started doing that in San Antonio, where we got there, trying to get people more interested in that community and trying to share our experiences and our ideas with all of them. And I think that's a really good thing to do, and that's something that I would really like to see more in Mexico, trying to get that community more united and more in focus, because I don't see it moving so fast as it is here.
For those of you who don't know, Monterrey is very close to the border. It's just a 45-minute flight. Yeah, so the headquarters are here in Austin, and headquarters are all the development.
That's Geek Demo.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Question. So how is your team split up? How many people here? How many in Monterrey? Who?
So our team is mainly in Monterrey. Here in the United States, Ren is the head here. He's doing mostly the commercial work, trying to get to know the customers, getting new clients and all that. We just started here in the United States. The team in Monterrey is somewhere about 16 people, between developers, designers, some like HR, administrative people. Yeah.
Any other questions?
What's your favorite frameworks and languages that get used?
Oh yeah, so we have tried some frameworks, a lot of them. For backend mainly, we have used Laravel. I really love Laravel. Like we host the Monterrey meetup, we host the San Antonio meetup. I have been using it for almost 5 years, something like that. It was a few versions ago, and that's like we're married with them. But on the front end side, we have been trying a lot of different technologies, and we have been through almost all the frameworks of there. Like we started obviously like the normal and jQuery and all that libraries, but then we started doing some apps with Angular. We built some really big code bases with Angular. We didn't really like the Angular one. I felt like it was a really steep curve, a learning curve for all the new developers, and it was a really big headache trying to find out where the works were and all that. Then we tried doing some apps on Meteor too. Meteor was cool, but more like a proof of concept or something like that. I won't like really try to a big app with that. We did some development with Angular 2 also, and finally we landed on Vue. Vue.js has been like our main flagship over the last 2 years, I think. We started doing work with Vue 1. We developed some apps with that. We published a hybrid app with it. We only had to build like the backend on Laravel, and we built one app for web and mobile, and that was like a 3-day job to take it from web to mobile and get it working. And so that was like a really big selling point for me for Vue. It was really easy to get people started on Vue. The documentation, it's good. It's lacking a little bit. This guy Evan, he's Chinese, so he like some things. Like I don't know, there's a language barrier always, right? But he has been doing a great work, and we have been using Vue 2 actually for some time now too. A lot of projects, and we are really liking it. It has proved to be really fast to develop with. Also really fast on performance-wise. We haven't really had any issues like we had with Angular. Angular was a nightmare. There were like a lot of memory issues also. It was really easy to we only did some small things with Angular 2, so we didn't get that whole experience. For Angular 1, we did some projects. Yeah, I have heard that good Angular for that, but I haven't really tried it. Yeah, we already have right now.
Facebook solution?
React. We have done a little tinkering around with it, but I'm not that big of a fan for it. There was also like all this discussion across the patenting. Yeah. So now that they changed their rules of that thing, it might be more appealing for us to look more into it. But I do feel like it might be overkill for a lot of projects. It's not probably what you need. It's a really steep learning curve to do for React. Like it's with Vue and with Angular, you could just throw someone the new HTML at least to do like some layout things and stuff like that. With React, you have to know the whole thing to actually get in there and to get some work done. So yeah. We also have been trying a lot of project management techniques and trying to get to the team to
So, without further ado, we got the guy with the crazy contraption on his head. So we're gonna bear with us for a minute. We're gonna get him set up because he has like a real demo for us, crazy demo.
Okay, while that is going on, hi everybody, good evening. I don't know if you've noticed a few things about me. One, I am not Hispanic. However, we share common problems. Lack of representation in tech entrepreneurship, and it's very difficult for us to raise money.
I noticed that you're also a cyborg.
I'll get into that. Second thing is, I am also legally blind. I'll talk about that in a bit. And third thing is, just got back from Romania at 2 a.m. last night. 36 hours. So forgive me if my energy level is not up to par. But Romania, that's right. Yeah. 5 hours from Timashire to Budapest. I don't know how long it took from Amsterdam. 14 hours to San Francisco. Half a day layover. I don't know when I got to Austin, but it was 3 a.m. when I got to time. So, yeah. So, thank you very much. So, folks, I'm sure you're all very curious about what I'm wearing in my head. Well, it's all about think and zoom. It's all about creating a better world for people who are visually impaired, people who are disabled. There are 1 billion people in our planet today that have a disability. 1/3 of them from physical impairment. But what is think and zoom? Well, to answer that, allow me to tell you a little story. Many years ago, a young boy left his home country of Nigeria to come to these United States, like most immigrants. He wanted to be a medical doctor. That's all he ever wanted to be. Well, he came with $200 in his wallet and quickly figured out he was missing just a few significant skills, right? He needed about $200,000. So when he started pre-med, he joined the U.S. Army to be all he could be. So far, so good. Unfortunately for him, barely 2 years into both careers, he became legally blind. What is this legally blind? Well, this guy was just in his late teens, so he's not old. Turns out, he had a rare eye disease called Stargardt's. It's the juvenile form of macular degeneration. In essence, it just means that the photoreceptor cells that all of us use in seeing very well, in this case, his are dying from genetically rare disease. So, for the rest of his life, he's going to have to look for assistive technologies or low vision devices that will help him make things bigger, magnify things, zoom things. So that's that's living science. So on one very cold, harsh day, spring day at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, the Army said, bye, 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 bye. Can you imagine what it felt like that day? It was crushed. I mean, you learned to be a doctor, you found your way to pay for it, and now it's, you hit the road jam, right? So, he was very depressed. Well, after several months, he picked himself up and figured out something else to do, engineering. And he went to study computer engineering. Now, let me level set again. Doctors said you're legally blind. Stargardt's. Okay, yeah, let's tackle this definition again. It means you can cope with magnifying devices. Your vision has declined up to legal blindness of 20/200. What does that mean? It means for a normal person, you can see something 20 feet away. For that guy, he has to be 1 foot away. Holding, people who hold phones like this. Alright, so no problem. So he went into engineering. But throughout his engineering career, well, his symptoms never matched what the doctors told him. How could that be possible? So he flunked out of school, came back, finished up. Still kept struggling. Started working at IBM here in Austin, Texas. His vision came to decline. It was very turbulent. Come and go, all kinds of problems. So he actually had to leave work and go to a school for the blind. Spent about a year learning non-visual skills. You know, like white cane, not white stick, everybody calls it a stick. It's a cane. The white cane and how to, cook blind, etc. And then he came back to work. But his vision just kept troubling. It wasn't until he landed at Johns Hopkins, spent 2 weeks with them, and 3 extra months of DNA sequencing that everything was revealed. So what was the problem? Well, he actually had 3 rare eye diseases. He hit the lottery. Sadly, 3. So it explained why his visual struggles, his symptoms never matched the original diagnosis. Because it was half diagnosed, right? It was incorrectly diagnosed. Wow. Well, at this juncture, the visual problems are so much he quit his engineering career. And that's after working for Goldman Sachs, after working for Nokia, after working for IBM, after serving some of the biggest clients you could have, the White House, NASA, Bloomberg. So now he's lost 3 careers. What's next? Well, he figured he could either throw his hands up and do nothing, or he could literally look at his life story and try to rewrite it for a better outcome. He chose the latter. So literally, he looked at the whole span of his visual struggles and asked himself, what can I do to make life better? So not just self, but people around the world like him. And it turns out there are 300 million like him around the world who face a 90% global illiteracy rate, despite $500 billion spent on these so-called assistive devices. And here in America, 20.6 million face a 70% unemployment rate, despite a $49 billion market of assistive technology. This month just happens to be National Disability Employment Awareness Month. So we're highlighting. So what are some of the solutions he came up with? Well, if you look at the story, it took a very long time for him to become correctly diagnosed, right? Span of almost 2 decades, about 300, different opinions from 300 different eye care professionals, maybe almost $1 million. So they said, okay, we have to find a way to detect this problem very early. We're talking about very early, now we're talking about children. Well, I don't think there's any parent or anybody here gets a text or a tweet that says, hey, you're about to lose your vision. So how do you extract that kind of information from children? Well, they figured, go where children always play. Where do they always play? Games, right? Children love games. Have you ever tried to take a tablet out of the kids' hands when they're playing a game? Exactly. So he created a way that is going to be able to detect visual impairments early in children. Let me turn up this volume and let's see if it works. So folks, all I'm doing to play that game is simply channeling my magneto, simply thinking. Despite this game being a minimum viable product, it already won an award at Apple Worldwide Developer Conference. In the future, we plan to leverage innovative games like this to detect visual impairments early in children. Imagine a child that's 3, 4, 5 years old. All they're doing is playing a game and having fun. We can tell if they have Stargard's, Leber congenital amaurosis, retinitis pigmentosa, because it turns out that these rare eye problems are already there in your DNA. They only get worse gradually. Right? So that's early detection. Well, like in the story, the problems don't end there. After you detect it early, what next? Well, the next logical step is to get to an eye care professional. Based on his experience, he observed that sometimes you go to an eye doctor and you spend 8 hours. Can you imagine 8 hours of testing at an eye doctor? The doctor actually doesn't make a lot of money from you sitting in his office for 8 hours. He wants to see more patients. And you are losing money and you're frustrated by being there 8 hours. So how do we augment the ability of the eye care professional to speed up this diagnosis? So he came up with a way called streamlined diagnosis. That same data that is going to be collected from these games will be given to eye care professionals. It will help them hone on the diagnosis and cut the time it takes to diagnose eye problems. So that's streamlined diagnosis. That's solution number 2. Well, Then comes problem number 3, just like I asked the gentleman, you're legally blind. What is that? All over the world, people do not understand visual impairment problems. All over the world, I've been all over the world, right? People don't understand it. So imagine that you are 8 years old. You've been diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa. Your parents don't even understand what you're talking about. Your siblings, your teachers. So what are you going to do about it? Well comes experiential education. How about a way to train everybody around you? Parents, your teachers, your siblings, so they can understand what you're talking about. And what's the best way to do that? With VR. It's a very easy way for us to add empathy into a virtual reality form and deploy it over the internet. That way, you can walk a mile in that kid's shoes. They don't have to explain too much to you. Just put it on for 5 minutes. Oh, wow, is that what you're talking about? Yes, that's what I was talking about. Right? So we've got experiential education. Well then, you have RP. You're 8 years old. Where's the light at the end of this tunnel? All I hear is gloom and doom. Huh, okay. Has anybody else like me? Is there anybody else like me out there in the world? Yes. Here comes immersive mentoring. Immersive mentoring is about connecting people that have been diagnosed with eye problems with people who have these problems and have overcome. I'm going to throw out names now. If any one of you knows these names, please raise your hand. Eric Weidemeyer. That's right. He's legally blind and he has climbed about 5 mountain summits. Even those with good eyesight find it difficult to climb mountain summits, right? Christina Hart. That's right. She is legally blind, but she won MasterChef. People who have good eyesight find it very tough to be in MasterChef competition. She couldn't see what she was baking, but her pie looked great, right? Wanda Mercedes Diaz. Nobody knows her. She's an astrophysicist. She suddenly went blind as an adult. How is she going to look at the stars? She invented her own way of converting light into sound so she could continue with her career. So kids need to know about these people. Isaac Litsky. Nobody knows this people, right? He was a child actor, was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa. His parents built a strong community around him, trained him at the best business schools. He has built a $600 million construction business in Florida. I think that's even tough for a sighted person to do, right? Imagine somebody who's now totally blind. So these are phenomenal individuals that we will connect to those who are facing eye problems just to show them that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Now, that's solution number 4. What is that all? No, there's something missing. Those pesky little assistive technology devices. Well, let's look at them. The doctor said to code, you need something to zoom things for you, something to magnify things and enlarge things. Unfortunately, those magnifiers come with quite a number of problems. Number 1, you require 1 or 2 hands to handle these things, to control it. You need to press a button, you need to do something with your hand. It is ridiculous. I mean, I don't see anybody here having to hold their eyeballs with 1 or 2 hands. Is anybody doing that? Maybe I can't see that, I don't know. So why does a segment of our population have to hold something just to see? It is ridiculous, right? Problem number 2. These things can cost you as much as $50,000. US, not Canadian. Okay? So wait a minute. I just want to see. But I have to pay $15,000? And my user experience is like holding my eyeball with 1 hand. I beg to differ. Okay? So we have to tackle this thing. So how do we create a user experience that gives the person the ability to zoom things, but yet have it hands-free? Okay? Everybody here is looking and seeing. what is the asterisk in the middle between look and see? Is it possible to look, think, and zoom to see? Let's check it out. I don't know. What can I zoom? What is it? I need something. Paper, card, anything. What? Cool. Alright. So, we're gonna try to see if we can zoom in on Frank's card.
Luis's card.
Luis's card, okay. Even cooler. Oh wow, look at that. Where? So folks, that's how you look, think, and zoom in to see better. Folks, the story you just heard is my life story. I'm zooming on. That's the story of how I'm overcoming disability with the creative abilities. That's the story of how I'm turning my personal problems with global solutions. But what's the aim of that? Well, we're trying to create a world where visual impairments can no longer steal dreams or kill careers, like it can kill mine. And our mission is to provide affordable and innovative solutions that will always help the visual impaired in whatever situation they find themselves, whether at school, work, home, play, wherever. So I ask you, what if each and every one of us tap into our creative abilities and we find a way to solve our problem and offer our solution to others around the world? What kind of world will we create? I'll tell you. We will create a world where visual impairments can no longer steal dreams or kill careers. We will create a world where tech entrepreneurship will not create careers where minorities handle its funding. We will all create a world where we can all look, think, and zoom in to a better, brighter future. Thank you. Sir.
So when you were zooming in, it was with the device on your head, and just thinking, and it just started zooming in for you automatically?
Correct. So all of our brains, inside of it is like a soup, like a mixture, right? So we have biochemical activities, neurons. They emit small electrical signals. This headset is called an EEG reader, electroencephalogram. It's very similar to EKG, which I'm sure you've heard. So this just collects data. That's it. Just like a thermometer will tell you, okay, my temperature is this. So it just collects data. So our software, which is running on a mobile device, is analyzing this data, talking to this device, analyzing this data, and asking, try to figure out, is there a visual struggle? And when it detects that, it then magnifies. The goal in the future is to create something like this, where this device and the wearer's brain will just be having a chat. Hey, are you struggling to see? No. Are you struggling to see? No. Struggling to see? Yeah. You want me to zoom? Yes. Zoom, zoom, zoom. How about now? No. How about now? No. How about now? Yes. Good. That's what we're trying to create in the future. Wow. That board was
There's another company here that's working on the software. You should talk to them.
What was the name?
I think it's like Sinish something or Sinish something.
Oh, okay, cool. We'll definitely love to talk to them.
But they posted something on Slack about they're testing vision, just today, or something.
Oh, wow. Okay. We'll certainly love to talk to them.
Out of your thing, so there's Zoom, right?
Yeah, of late, when I architected this thing back in 2012, and I wrote emails to doctors all around the world. Hey, I can help. What am I thinking? Nobody understood what I was talking about. It wasn't until 2015 when I actually developed it and deployed it on Google Glass that, oh, is that what you're talking about? And then I ran into a problem. I couldn't see through Google Glass. It was too tiny. So I had to port it over to the iPhone. But today you have Facebook trying to do Think and Update. Google is working on Think and Query or Think and Search. IBM is doing a project called the Cognitive Story, where they're trying to help a quadriplegic who can't speak to think and speak. So, now all of a sudden there's big tech giants. all of it can. So, but hey, it's okay to be in that company. Any other questions? All right, cool. Well, thank you all very much for listening to my story.
So in closing, there was a question earlier about how you connect in your daily life to your to your like Latino roots. So I can tell you for myself, I'm Cuban American from Miami. In Miami, like English is not the first language for anybody. I moved to Austin, and it was an alien place to me for a long time. I moved here a while ago. But this group is one of the primary ways that I do that because, as we were saying, the Sprecher was saying, technology is kind of a white male-dominated, kind of community, right? And I've worked in several places. Some places have a pretty good Latino representation. I worked at IBM for many years, and I kind of came in with a Puerto Rican crew. There's not a lot of Cubans in Austin, but there's a couple of those.
I was looking around to figure out where we are, and I knew whichever room has all the brown people.
Yeah.
It was very easy.
So,
it shouldn't be that easy.
It shouldn't be. That's true. Well, with this group, we have all kinds of folks helping us out. You don't have to be, Latino, Hispanic. This is, that's the main community we're serving.
We take all companies like the chamber.
Everybody's welcome. And folks like you, really help make this a cool event. And I love meeting people and interacting with all kinds of people. And so thank you all for coming. If you guys have any other questions for the group, you can ask now, or you can, chat and network with us afterwards. And if not, enjoy the rest of Startup Week.
We have pizza.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I'm Luis. There we go.
You done this off?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
How about you?
I'm actually
Got it.
Can we do one more? I'm sorry. Can we do one more? Give my belt?
What's that?
Give my belt?
Three, two, one.
Thank you very much.
Very, very much. Thank you. You have my card. Great story, great presentation.
Tell Vicky she missed.
I am.
Thanks so much for
Hey, nice to meet you, man. Thanks a lot for coming.
Hey, tocado. I am. Can I text you? Yeah. Don't get mad. It's a 200 form. That's what I
Yeah, I'd love to catch up. I mean, it's my story.
Oye, estamos en contacto, mándame. Sí, me interesa cómo.